Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a massive question, one that people have been asking for centuries. Who really runs the world? Now when you hear that question, your mind probably jumps to a few usual suspects. Maybe you're picturing presidents and prime ministers in slick suits, sitting around a giant table, making decisions that affect us all. Or maybe you're thinking of billionaire CEOs in their glass-walled skyscrapers, pulling the strings of the global economy. And you wouldn't be wrong to think that. Political leaders and corporate giants definitely have a huge amount of power. Let's start with politics. We elect governments to represent us, right? They pass laws, manage economies, and conduct international relations. The decisions made in Washington, Beijing, Brussels, or Moscow can create ripples that are felt across the entire globe. A trade agreement, a new environmental policy, or a declaration of conflict. These things have massive, tangible impacts on millions of lives. The G7, the United Nations, these are platforms where the world's most powerful nations come together to try and steer the ship. So on one level, you could say that the leaders of the most powerful countries run the world. They hold the official keys to power. But then, let's talk about money. Because, as the old saying goes, money talks. And in our world, it often shouts. Think about the biggest multinational corporations. Companies with revenues larger than the GDP of many countries. They employ millions of people, control vast supply chains, and their products are in our homes, in our pockets, on our screens. These corporations have immense influence over governments through lobbying, campaign donations, and the simple fact that economies depend on them. If a huge company threatens to move its operations elsewhere, governments listen. So are the real rulers the CEOs and boards of directors of these global titans? The people who control the flow of capital, who decide where to invest, what to produce, and who to hire. It's a very compelling argument. Power isn't just about votes, it's about dollars, euros, and yuan. But let's dig even deeper. What influences both the politicians and the CEOs? Ideas, technology, culture. Think about the tech revolution. A couple of decades ago, companies like Google, Apple, and Meta didn't have the global dominance they do today. The founders were just people with ideas. But those ideas, combined with brilliant engineering, completely reshaped how we communicate, work, shop, and even think. The person who invents the next world-changing technology, maybe it's in artificial intelligence or biotech or clean energy, could have more influence over the future of humanity than any single politician. The power of innovation is the power to change the rules of the game itself. So maybe it's not a person, but a process. The process of technological advancement. And what about culture? The stories we tell ourselves, the values we share, the art we create. Who controls that? Hollywood movies, pop music, social media trends. These things shape our desires, our beliefs, and our view of the world. They can unite people across borders or create deep divisions. The creators, the artists, the influencers who capture the global imagination have a different kind of power. It's a soft power, but it's incredibly potent. It can topple regimes, spark social movements, and define what an entire generation cares about. So maybe the people who run the world are the storytellers, the ones who write the script that we all act out. This brings us to a more modern and maybe more accurate picture. Power isn't a single throne occupied by one king. It's more like a network, a complex interconnected web of different kinds of influence. Think about it. A politician needs the financial backing of corporations to get elected. A corporation needs the innovation from tech companies to stay competitive. A tech company needs the cultural buy-in from social media users to make their product a success. And all of them are influenced by public opinion, which is shaped by the media, by activists, and by cultural trends. It's not a pyramid with one person at the top. It's a messy, dynamic ecosystem where power is constantly shifting and being negotiated. For example, look at the climate change movement. It wasn't started by a president or a CEO. It was amplified by scientists, activists like Greta Thunberg, and millions of ordinary people demanding action. Their collective voice puts so much pressure on the system that now politicians and corporations are being forced to change their policies. They have to respond. That's a perfect example of how power can flow from the bottom up. It shows that influence isn't just held by the elite. It can be built and wielded by organized groups of citizens. And let's not forget the institutions that set the rules. Organizations like the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Trade Organization. They might not have armies, but they control the flow of money and the rules of global trade. A loan from the IMF can come with conditions that force a country to completely restructure its economy. These technocrats and bureaucrats, who are largely unelected and operate behind the scenes, have an incredible amount of power to shape the destinies of nations. Their decisions are based on economic models and financial principles, but they have very real-world consequences for everyday people. So where does that leave us? Who runs the world? The answer is, it's complicated. It's not one person or one group. It's a shifting coalition of political leaders, corporate executives, tech innovators, financial institutions, and cultural influencers. And increasingly, it's also us, you and me. In the age of the internet and social media, the collective power of ordinary people has never been greater. A viral video, a hashtag, a GoFundMe campaign, a mass protest organized online, these can challenge the established powers in ways that were unimaginable just a generation ago. The world is run by a constant push and pull between all these different forces. It's a messy, chaotic, and sometimes frustrating dance of power. But the exciting part is that there's a role for you in it. By choosing what you buy, who you vote for, what you share online, and what you speak out about, you are casting a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. You are part of that network. You have a piece of that power. The real question might not be who runs the world, but what role are you going to play in running it? The world isn't just something that happens to us. It's something we are all, in our own small or large ways, creating together every single day. Thanks so much for watching. This is a huge topic, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Who do you think has the most influence in the world today? Let's get a conversation started. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content that makes you think.